Hi, I'm Karl Konrad and I founded Australian Immigration Law Services some 22 years ago. We are a highly experienced group of registered migration agents based in Sydney. If you want to know more about how to apply for a visa to live, work or study in Australia, as well as to get important updates, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. The first thing to know about partner visa application is that the visa applicant needs to be the partner of an Australian citizen, permanent resident, or eligible New Zealand citizen. This person is called a sponsor and is responsible for bringing the applicant to Australia. If you want to know more about applying for partner visa, I've talked about this in a previous video and you'll find the link in the description below. Partner visas has something called a sponsorship limitation, and whether you're an applicant or a sponsor, it's useful for you to know and understand about it. I've met many clients who didn't know or knew, but thought it didn't matter, and years later had problems because of it. So what is a sponsorship limitation? Two things. First, as a sponsor, you can have a maximum of 2 sponsorships granted in your lifetime. Second, you must wait at least 5 years between sponsorships if you move into a relationship with a different partner. Now, it's easier to tell if you've met your limit on 2 sponsorships if the partner visa was granted. But sometimes relationships fall apart, and depending upon the situation, your previous sponsorship may or may not be counted. Sponsorships that count towards your limit are those which the visa related to your sponsorship was granted, even if your partner did not travel to Australia, or if the visa was granted then cancelled before your partner entered Australia. It also counts when a marriage doesn't happen after a prospective marriage fiancé visa is granted, but the partner has already travelled into Australia. Situations where the relationship has dissolved but the partner visa was granted based upon family violence are also counted. If you're wondering, although the partner visas are usually processed in 2 stages, this is counted as one sponsorship. Sponsorships that do not count are those where the visa in related to your sponsorship was not granted, and when a fiancé visa was cancelled before the partner has travelled to Australia. To reiterate, this rule is only for sponsors, that is the partner who is an Australian citizen, permanent resident or eligible New Zealand citizen. If you were previously sponsored for a partner visa and you are now in a new relationship where you want to be a sponsor, this would count as your first sponsorship. The rule on having no more than 2 sponsorships in a lifetime was imposed many years ago to stop people lodging serial sponsorship applications for one partner after another. This is not to say that genuine circumstances do not exist, and the Immigration Department will make exceptions for more than 2 sponsorships if there are compelling circumstances. I'll share more on compelling circumstances and when exemptions will be made at the end of this video. The next thing to consider that if you are in a new relationship, you must have 5 years between partner visa applications, regardless of whether you were the applicant or the sponsor. Whilst the limitation on 2 sponsorships in a lifetime was only for sponsors, this 5-year wait affects all parties. As an example, if you were sponsored for a partner visa, moved on from the relationships, and now want to become a sponsor, this applies to you. The clock starts from the date of the application is made, and you must have surpassed 5 years by the date of the grant of the visa with your new partner. This means that you can apply for another partner visa before 5 years have passed, but it is a risk that you take if the visa is processed quickly. Even so, I understand that you would want to, given that partner visas take a very long time to process. Currently, the Immigration Department's website states that partner visa processing times are around 17 to 25 months. We're looking forward to seeing if this changes, given the recent federal budget announcement included over 72,000 places allocated to partner visas for this financial year. Those with partners in designated regional areas are also to be given priority. If you want to hear more about these highlights for immigration under the federal budget, or more about migration program planning levels and allocations, we've got links to those videos in the description below. By the way, if you came into Australia with your partner as a dependent or secondary applicant on your partner's skilled visa, this is not counted as sponsorship. If you are now a permanent resident or citizen and have moved on to another relationship, you will not face the 5-year wait to sponsor your new partner. The 5-year limitations is another way in which the Immigration Department tries to impede the misuse of the partner visa. There was a time which those less qualified would enter Australia under false relationships. It also prevents the sale of marriage for a visa. Naturally, there are situations in which relationships are genuine, so it is possible to have an exemption made if you have compelling circumstances. Now, compelling circumstances must be significant enough for the Immigration Department to be convinced they should let you sponsor again. You will need to provide evidence of these compelling circumstances. Now, the demonstrating the compelling circumstance is not as difficult, though, as you may believe. Having a child of the relationship or your previous partner having passed away are some of the more obvious ones, but there are many other circumstances which could be considered as compelling. The Immigration Department will consider how your absence from Australia will affect you or any involved Australian resident. If you're in a tricky situation and need help with your partner visa, get professional assistance. That's us here at Australian Immigration Law Services. In the meantime, you can always look at ME News at australiavisa.com for more information, and don't forget to follow us on social media. As always, take care out there and bye for now.